looks like we're live, and we're live. Hey, how's everybody doing? How is it going? What it is, what it was, and what it shall be. This is Joe and Keisha, and it's another Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. We appreciate everyone who is coming on with us live. If you're catching us on the replay, we appreciate you checking us out. Today, guys, you know, we're going to talk about something that a lot of people take for granted, and it's communication. You know, it's not as easy as you think.
That's right.
You know. All right, look like we're popping in and out, but we're going to get this in, guys, because what we're talking about is communication. You know, everybody thinks they know how to talk to people or how they want to be spoken to, but sometimes it's a skill that you definitely have to learn. But what I want to go start with is the definition of communication, and some may agree, some may disagree, but the ones I looked up on Google was the imparting or exchange of information or news, and another one was sending and receiving information or news. So you know, that sounds kind of basic, and you know, in regards to communication, because we're talking about communication with spouses, with married couples, you know. So again, we always want to say this stuff right here is for married people or people who want to be.
Yes.
You know.
Courting.
Yeah, people who are courting, because this communication thing, you know, I've heard it time and time again. It is always a cliche phrase. Everybody, well, make sure you have good communication. Mm-hmm. But no one really figures out, or they have to do that. It's like on the job training almost.
Pretty much.
You know?
You think you started doing it, you know, we started talking. 1.5, 2. I'm communicating.
Right.
Even if it's just this, that, mommy.
I know, right?
We think we've been doing it long enough to know what we're doing. But
hey, Teresa. Hey, Teresa's watching. Hey, Teresa. Appreciate you coming on live with us. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You know, we kind of take it for granted. And then, you know, but I find that the biggest problem, and we're guilty of it ourselves, and we're going to talk about that because we're going to open up a little bit, is that many people listen just so they can respond, so they can have a rebuttal, you know, and instead of trying to hear what the person has to say, you know, you start talking ABC mouse, and all I heard was ABC. Well, I don't like ABC. Well, I said mouse. Okay, I ain't even hear that. And see, that comes in with what we call sign language, which is a synonym. You know, sign language is shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. And it's not just everybody has done it, everybody will do it, but don't keep that to a minimum, to zero, really.
Right.
You know, because you're not listening, and then you get upset, and tempers are flared, and then you'll try to shame the person, then you'll insult them, then you'll try to guilt trip them.
Yeah, baby.
You know.
And you might say something that you can't take back.
Yeah.
The best advice I've gotten on communication and what I've learned for myself is, in the heat of the moment, walk away, separate.
Yeah.
The bedroom is my retreat. And like you said, we're going to talk about, we've got a current issue that was coming up and that we had to deal with. And it's embodied by communication. Mm-hmm. And I usually go to my corner, which is the bedroom. He usually goes outside or for a drive, whatever he be doing, because I'm in the room. I don't know what he's doing. All I know is I'm in timeout. And quite often I have to put myself there. But when it comes to communication issues, you have to be careful and think about the other person. As much as you might want to get your point across, mm-hmm. and as much as you think you're right,
yeah.
You'll never be right if you, okay, and we're back. Yeah. If you overstep, and if you say something that you're going to regret, and it's going to hurt your mate.
Because that's the last thing, you know. Like Keisha said, you can be right and still be wrong. You've heard me say this before.
Very much so.
You know. So like I said, this is not as easy as you think. You know, we had our issue. We were talking, and you know, we're so intent and passionate about things sometimes. You know, Keisha has, when she has a newfound desire to speak her mind, which is great. And we had a clash. And I was upset about it because it's something that she does often. Because here's another thing: words you should never use is always and never. You always do this. You never do that. It is never true.
Yes.
It can be often, but it's never, never, and it's never always. Those are, and that's how you can't come back from that.
Right.
You know, because what you're doing is you're telling a lie, but you're in your emotions. That's why, you know, effective communication is like Keisha said. You got to start with a desire to listen, hear, and understand the other person first. Whoever it doesn't matter who starts first. But after that person starts speaking, your task is to listen and try to understand before you open your mouth.
Yes, babe. And this is not Mission Impossible. This is your task should you choose to accept it. You accepted it when you said, hey, I want to be with you. I want you to be part of my life.
Exactly.
So since you've taken on the Mission Impossible, it's possible. You can do this. I mean, you have to want to listen, and you have to listen and hear. And then not only hear, but you need to work for understanding.
Yeah.
And when I'm passionate about something that I'm speaking about, if you say something and my point comes to my brain, my mouth is quick. I'm practicing biting my tongue, practicing patience, giving him the time he needs to express his feelings, because he, oftentimes, as he's gathering his thoughts, I'm like, hurry up, because I got something to say. But you can't do that. You got to slow down.
Well, you know, the funny thing about this story was when she was speaking, I was agreeing with every point she made. You know, and then when she paused, I thought I had an opportunity to respond, and I got a few words out, but it was just one word that she heard.
4 words.
Yeah, like 4 words. I was trying not to say anything about that.
To tell the truth, you're ashamed of
Well, I
that.
know I said it when we were in the car, but that was between us.
That's
but,
okay, baby.
But see, now y'all know, you know, it was 4 words, but you know, she really only heard one word, and that word didn't match up with everything she said, but she didn't give me a chance to finish my thought, and it upset me. And I said something about it because it's something that she does often. And it's kind of carried over into the rest of the weekend, but because we've had some other clashes. But you know, at the end of the day, today, well, even before we start our day, because it's the Lord's Day, we definitely not wanting to go in with a bad attitude or anything like that. You
That's
know,
right.
she spoke her mind again. I listened. I didn't say a whole lot, and then I thought about it, and then I acted accordingly, because my wife, my spouse, I'm supposed to speak life into her. And if you are courting, this is how you have to view your potential spouse. They're more than half of who you are, because we're one. So, I guess, like she told me, what did you say?
I said that when I do things that irk you or irritate you, you irritated with yourself.
Yeah.
Because we won. So when he does things that irritate my soul, that's a line I have, irritate my soul, or when he irks me, I step back and say, Lord, I'm irritated with myself. Myself getting on my nerves. Again, I'm going to time out in the bedroom, put myself in there, because I done irritated myself.
Yeah.
But we're looking at it that way, it'll help with the communication, because when I willingly stopped and listened to him this morning, after I know that he tuned in and listened to me, the outcome is always greater. And we're in a good place. And we will stay in a good place through whatever, if we continue to effectively communicate, actively communicate.
It's active communication, actively listen. And look, this is a skill. It's not as easy as you think.
Nope.
I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but it's true. It's not as easy as you think. This is a skill, but it is a skill that you can and should master immediately. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to get it right every single time, but you need to actively be working towards mastering this type of communication.
Yes.
Where you listen to your spouse, really listen. Don't just be, you know, and don't have your phone device or something. Put stuff in.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, and we're back. You know, like I said, practice active listening and have patience. And then this is another thing when we talk about love languages. You know, a lot of people know about the 5 love languages, but there's one thing in there I want to bring up is the concept of a love cup. And when you are talking and listening and actively communicating, what you're doing is you're pouring love into each other's cup. And you don't ever want one person pouring love in and the other, and they're not getting back, because after a while that cup will get empty. And now you got problems. You know, so you know, take time to know how to speak to your spouse and learn their love language to a certain degree.
Can I say something? That love cup illustration sticks out to me, even when I've had a lot of noise and wanting to be like, rah, 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 I'm right, I want to get this out. He is my spouse, and I should, this is one time I'm going to use always, baby. I should always want the best for him. Like he should always want the best for me. He wants to give me the best of himself.
Yes.
I want to give him the best of myself. In his love language, one of them is
acts of service.
Acts of service. So when I make a great meal, when I get up in the morning and make the bed, when all his clothes are in the drawer, he illustrated to me today. I wore these underwear yesterday. They back in the drawer. Yes, I'm doing my job. I am pouring into your love cup, in your love language. And my love languages are different than his, and I require different things, but he fills me back up by pouring into me. And if we can keep our love cup balanced, this is harmonious, there's peace, and just, you know, overwhelming peace in the house. And that's what I strive for daily.
Now, you know, again, disclaimer, it's not going to happen the first time. You know, it's something that you have to be willing to work at. However, for you married folks, remember your vows. Remember why you married that person. I don't care whether it was yesterday or it was 20 or 30 years ago. There was something about them that made you decide to unite with them. And it's worth the effort. You're worth the effort.
It really is.
We're worth the effort. I really like to think I'm aggravating myself. You know, but you know, that's pretty much the crux of what we've been talking about here is the willingness and the strong desire to create harmony in your home. If you are courting, this will help you. You'll be a step ahead of these other folks who are just winging it.
Yeah, and it'll help you with some of the other topics we've already discussed, like out of this book. Because if you can effectively communicate and ask the right questions, find out the right information, you're miles ahead in the game.
Yeah, that's part of what we talked about, dating with intentions, guys. If you haven't checked that out, go back and check that previous video out. Also, you can always see all of these videos in a playlist on our channel, Bountiful Harvest with Joe and Keisha. On YouTube. And that playlist is called Meeting the Bumbers. So go check that out. If you haven't subscribed, please do so.
Please do.
Please like, share, and comment. It helps with the algorithm. Remember, we are having not a contest, but we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. When we get to 100, you know, the first gift is going to be this book.
Yes. And it is 1001 questions to ask before you get married. And I find that even after the marriage, after the wedding, after the honeymoon, this book still has a lot of good stuff that you can continue to reference back to. Yes. Also, he mentioned the 5 love languages. That's a book that I've read now at least 3 times because I have to be reminded sometimes, and I think he does too.
Yes.
This is what my wife needs, or for me, this is what my husband needs. And that will have me in a good place, and we can continue to progress. But as he was talking about, you know, we're having a giveaway for subscribers. This book will be given away once we reach 100 subscribers. We also have this milk frother for the 500 subscriber mark. And we're giving away this nice electric kettle for the once we hit 1,000. So come on, y'all. Come on. Let us hit the 1,000.
Maybe we ought to get something.
You can't have it.
I'm just kidding, guys.
But we really want you all to just go along on this ride with us, this
Yeah.
journey. It's wonderful. I'm definitely enjoying it,
Yeah.
and I'm still on the honey.
Amen. Yeah. It's great. It's great. I mean, you know, so there used to be that old song by Shalimar, Second Time Around. Well, now not this the third time around. It's
The second one.
yeah. Well, I guess we're still getting it in there some kind of way, you know. But yeah, come and catch what we're doing. You know, what is it? We're picking up what we're putting down.
Yeah, if you're
Because-
feeling it,
Yeah, our
Keep
desire is to help. You know, we want to be a blessing to people. We want to show people that, yeah, you know, marriage might be on a decline, but there are people out here who are doing it right,
yes.
and we just want to help do our part and be good to each other.
Yeah. If we can help y'all avoid some of the lumps and bumps we had to go through,
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
exactly. Because
Yeah.
we've had some ups and downs in our 4 years of dating,
Yeah.
and you know, this marriage thing. But we're ready, and we're committed, and we want you to be right there watching the successes and the failures, because we have them too.
And living your own.
Yeah.
So babe, I think we are at the close.
Yeah. So listen, what we're talking about, guys, here is making a change. And you've heard me say it before. There's 3 components to change. The first thing is you make a decision. The second thing is you make a commitment. And the final thing is you are consistent. Because if you're consistent to your commitment, to your decision, you will change. Try to change for your spouse. Try to change for yourself. I know it's hard when somebody puts a mirror up to your face and shows you something wrong. Well, we're all right, but not in everything. All right, we'll see you guys next Sunday at 7 p.m. And we love you, and we are out.